Hi everybody, it's always great when you find a new artist, and even up to the run up to Christmas 2022 I have found Jessie Murph. If I Died Last Night is a song I'm going to bring your attention to, because this is a girl, let me tell you, that underneath that unique blend of modern production with echoes of distant guitar and evocative vocals, I introduce you today to Jessie Murph that tells the kind of stories musically we all relate to, but we might be too uncomfortable to disclose to the world at large. Thankfully, she's not shy in her songs. The 18-year-old Alabama songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, gushes with emotion through the cracks of her domain. Yet lilting croon voice, staring down heartbreak, anxiety, and darkness without filter in her lyrics or any fucks given. This open-hearted honesty has endeared her to a following of nearly 10 million across platforms around the world, and asserted her as a critically acclaimed musical force to be reckoned with. The stress of a fractured family behind her, bullying in school, outdated expectations for women, and latent backwards misogyny pushed Jessie to cling tightly to music from an early age and never let go. She listened to everybody from Adele and Lady A to Six Lack and Lil Baby, learning piano, ukulele, and guitar, and writing songs on her own. I'm sure they were very heavy songs because her lyrics are so, trust me, mature and beyond her years. It's quite incredible. But after a taste of viral opportunity on YouTube, she launched her TikTok account during 2020. Beyond popular covers, she gained traction and connected with an audience by way of originals such as Upgrade, Look Who's Crying Now, and Sobriety. However, Always Being You has affirmed her as a powerful presence in the music industry because it garnered north of 115 million global streams around the world, while Stereogum pegged it as one of 2022's potential pop hits of all time. Between praise from Ones to Watch, Flaunt Magazine, Hits, and many, many more, she tallied over 100 million streams with Pray, I Would've, While You're At It, and How Could You? However, she opens up once again, and coming into her 2023 debut mixtape, Drowning, and more to come, this woman, young lady, musical artist of worth, is going to be, I reckon, next year one of the biggest award-winning artists in her age group for many, many years. We have, I think, found in Alabama a great woman, and a woman that's writing songs like this, because If I Died Last Night sent us on a dark fantasy that many of us probably have, wondering how our other significant would react in the case of our own untimely death. And Jessie does it, if such were the case, the addressee indeed be in his feelings. But by the time all is said and done, these lyrics in this song actually focus more on what Jessie believes would be her own promiscuous emotions in that regard. For instance, she wouldn't want to go out like that because she wouldn't have the opportunity to tell her loved one how much she truly cares. And what's implied in the first verses you're going to listen to is less than ideally reality. Her not being in a position to express herself being attributable to the two of them being caught up in a tumultuous romance. Secondly, Jessie states that even if she were to go to heaven, to her it would still be hell if the addressing weren't around. That's a pretty powerful statement, if interpreted in a religious context, let's say. But in the grand scheme of the song itself, these references are mainly to serve a symbolic purpose, which is illustrating that the vocalist does indeed love the addressee. So that was by Amanda London, and I want to thank her for that from Song Meanings and Facts, the website, check them out. And also I want to give my hearty thanks to my research, because I believe in mentioning people. First Avenue's website is called First Avenue and 7th Street Entry. Thank you for that as well. But let's get straight into the song. Got the lyrics in front of me, and as always, I will take that into mind what the song is about, but I'll give you my interpretation straight after.
Some things are solid, they're built to last. Some things they fall apart, they break like glass. Sometimes it's scary what they call love, and how fast what is can turn to what was. Waking up this morning and I'm drunk again, without you here. When I sat and I lit up a cigarette, and it made me think, if I died last night in an aeroplane, in a pile up on the interstate, if I closed my eyes and went up in flames, if I took too much and I suffocated, would tear me apart, it would haunt me forever, so much you never get to know. If I died last night, if I died last night, can't stand the thought of you getting that call, dropping your phone, running down the hall, blaming yourself for when shit hit the wall, and drowning my memory in alcohol. If I went to heaven, it would still be hell without you there. If I died last night in an aeroplane, in a pile up on the interstate, if I closed my eyes and went up in flames, if I took too much and I suffocated, it would tear me apart, it would haunt me forever, so much you never get to know. If I died last night, if I died last night, I'm sorry, I hate this, I've never felt so alone, I need you now, so come over. I just want you to know, if I died last night in an aeroplane, in a pilot on the interstate, if I closed my eyes and went up in flames, if I took too much and I suffocated, it would tear me apart, it would haunt me forever, so much you never get to know. If I died last night, if I died last night, if I died last night.
Well, everybody, that's my introduction to Jesse Murph, If I Died Last Night. I've just died now and rose and gone to heaven listening to your voice, Jesse. You're absolutely incredible. And the lyrical content of your song is so in-depth and so mature beyond, I would imagine, most artists of your age. But you're proving the industry wrong when people say the 80s and the 90s, that was when the music golden era was. Yes, it was poppy. Yes, it was great. I lived through it. But the music industry, and I will say this as a music reactor, is not dead. When you've got artists as young as this delivering songs with just a uniquely unique vocal delivery that you just go, wow, it's alive, it's happening. And people need to support artists like Jesse Murph. She's just sensational. And I'm always delighted to bring the very best of people onto my channel, the best artists, best singers, best performers from around the world of all ages, to bring them to you and translate, just like this video, into 32 languages, so my worldwide audience of thousands can actually get to know artists from different countries and know that the music industry is still kicking. That's all I have to say on that. Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm going to go to Jesse's original video now. And you have to excuse me, I have to bring it up. It's all live, and I think I clicked a button and I lost it because I was so excited with that. I have to say, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's coming up now. What more can I say about Jess? I actually have a lot more of information on Jess, but I think we've done enough for now. It takes a while, doesn't it, on YouTube to get anything done properly. One night they're slow, one night they're fast. Tonight they're slow because that's YouTube being a pain in the ass. I should make that my logo on my t-shirt. I really should. So here we go with the lyrics. Some things are solid, she says, they're built to last. Some things they fall apart, they break like glass. Sometimes it's scary what they call love, and how fast what it can turn to what it was. Because of what I have read before, I've got to take that she's just fearing the unknown at the moment. And if I died last night, it's a scenario. And it's the ifs and the buts. And she obviously touches on subjects we'd never think about. Because when you're in a relationship, the only thing you're thinking about is, oh, I hope he loves me, or I hope she loves me, and I hope they don't, my partner doesn't leave me, and because we're all lovey-dovey and everything is great, and they're all panicking the minute they meet somebody, and they rush things to tell them I love you, so the other person will know they're secure. But you know yourself out there that sometimes issues like this about thinking about, well, what if I wasn't here? Would they care? Would they care enough to grieve? Would they care enough to attend the funeral? People do think like that. And that's why this subject matter here can be very personal for some people who have been in the situation of grief and lost a loved one. And this is almost an introspective look at somebody for looking at their loved one there and they've died, and what goes on around them and how they would feel being in heaven and them on earth. Although being in heaven would be in hell, as I read before. Because love is like a broken glass. There's an old saying, we come into this world crying and we often leave it crying. It's simply the fact of life. She continues, waking up in the morning, I'm drunk again, and without you here, went outside and I lit up a cigarette. And it made me think. As a smoker, one of the few smokers, because none of my friends smoke, but I grew up with smoking and having smoking friends at early age, I have to say that I do find a cup of coffee, going out for my coffees, walking my dog, is my thinking time. And I have to say, your thoughts do wonder. If you thought of a bad thing, they do wonder. And I've often thought of loved ones and said, wow, what if she wasn't here tomorrow? Like my siblings, one of my sisters. So I can relate to the lyrics here. And she continues, if I died last night in an aeroplane, in a pile-up on the interstate, if I closed my eyes and went up in flames, if I took too much and I suffocate, it would tear me apart. It would haunt me forever. So much you'd never get to know if I died last night. So she's thinking of the outer body experience emotionally and going to heaven. And there she is looking down on what's left behind. And she's given so many different scenarios. So while she's having a cigarette, she's thinking, well, okay, I'm in love, but this could be taken away from the person I love. I wonder what they think if one of these things happened to me. And she continues, can't stand the thought of you getting that call, dropping your phone, turning round, running down the hall, blaming yourself for what shit hit the wall, and drowning my memory in alcohol. Nobody does, Jesse. Nobody would. Like from the other side, looking down at their loved one, drinking, feeling helpless, feeling lonely, feeling shocked, and feeling angry all at once. And unfortunately, you wouldn't like it. But sometimes drinking it out of your system is the only outlet that people know. It continues, if I went to heaven, it would still be hell without you. Powerful, powerful words. Because we always say, if we die, we go to heaven. But we never think of the souls of the loved ones up in heaven that consider it hell, because there's a lot of people that believe in the afterlife, depending on what religion you believe. And there's a lot of people that believe in the afterlife you can look down on earth. You do see your loved ones. And you show little signs around the home. You flicker the light. People have all different stories. But it's hell for them. There's even mythology in Ireland that if you're driving and a black crow flies in front of you, people bless themselves. I remember my mother blessing herself, said, "Why did you bless yourself just because you've seen a crow?" "Oh, they carry the souls of the unrest." That's a sign of somebody who's died, who's not rested. So you see, it happens in many, many ways. So if I died last night, she continues in an airplane, continues to repeat this in a pile up on the interstate. If I closed my eyes and went up in flames, if I took too much and I suffocate, it would tear me apart. It would haunt me forever. So you see, what she's really saying is, I can't live without you. And I want you to know that. And I've thought of every scenario. I don't intend to leave you. It really is that kind of cry for the other person to realize, I've thought about me being in heaven and you and me in the car crash, and it would haunt me forever. But I think what she says here when she says it haunts me forever so much she'd never to know if I died last night. I think what happens is she then, obviously after thinking those kind of things, you start in the relationship making memories. So let's continue. "I'm sorry, I hate this. I've never felt so alone. I need you now, so come over. I just want you to know." So this song is about insecurity. This song is about the unforetold dying love she has for this other person. To think the worst scenario, to think the unthinkable, to imagine being in the unthinkable. It's almost like, you can admit, killing the relationship before it's begun. But it is a subject matter we never discuss, we never think about. And I would say, if you have happy memories with your partner, if God forbid something happened to you, there's an old saying, you carry those memories with you in your brain, in your heart, deep in your soul, forever. No one can take them away. So I always say in relationship, start making memories. Photographs are okay. The phone is okay. Selfies are okay. But start making memories in your own brain. Because we never know. And she repeats that. If the car went up in flames, blah, blah, on the outro. All I can say, Jesse, is you touched on a subject matter that's very sensitive to many people, and I thank you for that. But that is Jesse Murph. And that is If I Died Last Night, my analysis. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave comments, hit the subscribe button. And please join me on my journey into 2023 as organically growing, thanks to you. So happy Christmas. And if I don't see you till the new year and you tune in then, Happy New Year.